Hello, hello, hello. Good afternoon, everybody. Happy New Year, Happy New Year, Happy New Year. To you, and you. Y'all come on in. I'll give you a few minutes before we get started soaping. Come. Everybody come on in. Make yourself at home. We'll leave the light on for you. Come on in. I'm just prepping everything, y'all, while I'm letting everybody get ready to come in. So you haven't missed anything. I'll probably get started in maybe about 5 minutes or so. How's everybody's day today? Go ahead and leave a comment below on how your day is. What y'all see me doing here, guys, is I am just taking a little bit of olive oil and I'm putting it down in my colors. Normally, I will scoop. Let me do this for all of our new people. I'm not going to do this. So, for all of our new people, I'm going to show y'all a way to not oversaturate your recipe when it comes to your oils. So, this is my oils in my bowl right here, right? But I need to mix it. So all I'm going to do is just add a little bit of oil from my batch into my micas. Hey, Tina. Hey, Mel. Hey, Pamela. Who else we have on here? All right. That's everybody. Now, y'all know sometimes this thing doesn't stroll. And we are going to be using this green right here for piping purposes. Because I have a vision for this soap, y'all, okay? I have a whole vision for this soap. And a part of what's in my head is I have to make leaves on this soap. So we're going to do a little bit of piping. I've already made roses. So we have some roses that are going to be going on here as well. So this is my red color that's going to be in this soap. And I'm literally just scooping out a little bit from my oils and my base of my soap. Now, some of you may do this different. If you're more advanced, that's absolutely fine. I do it too. If you just chimed in and you're cringing right now, I was about to do it. But for all of our new people, this is for you. So I can show you how not to oversaturate your batch. Because sometimes some of you wonder why your batter comes out sticky and stuff, and it's because you put too much oil in it that you didn't allocate in your recipe. And I'm going to show y'all how I'm going to make all of this come together. So this right here, all I've done is hydrated my color, and I'm going to do the same thing with this mica. So I hope you guys enjoyed your holidays. I'm so excited to be back. I know that we haven't been on here live in a while. With all the holidays and everything going on, everybody just enjoying your families and stuff. So y'all see how I'm giving this a good mix, y'all. This is a pretty pink. And I'm just stirring it up really good, y'all, to get it hydrated. See? So now, the reason why I like to hydrate my mica is if any of you have ever worked with dry mica, sometimes you get those little mica clumps in your soap. I personally don't like that. But if you're that person and you can live with it, then you go right ahead. For me, it's just a no-go. This purple right here is going to be my accent color in this soap. So I'm just going to put a couple drops here. And I know you might be wondering, well, Curlinda, you're taking the oil out. Isn't that going to mess up the recipe? No, because you're going to pour your batter back into these oils. And this is oils that you've already counted in your recipe. So you're not taking it out. You're just kind of redistributing it again a little bit. There you go. See that? It's purple. can't wait for your baby to take a nap so you can make some soap. I know that's right, Bunny. Now, y'all notice I still have one left. This is my titanium dioxide. I'm not using titanium oil in my titanium dioxide because I, A, don't want glycerin rivers, and B, I don't want it clumpy. So I'm just going to use a tap of water to hydrate my titanium dioxide. And y'all see how that stirs in very well? I'm using the same mica that you get from me, Tina. It's the same one. It's just that before we hydrate it, it's in a powder form. There you go. So now we have all of our colors hydrated. And y'all, so let me tell y'all about this soap, right? I have a whole tray up here of roses that are still setting. They're not 100%, but they're still setting. Y'all see this? And I have more, right? Because I actually have to make 2 batches of this soap. But one, I wanted to come on here and make with you guys. So y'all know Valentine's Day is coming up, and it's that time for the Valentine's Day production, and everybody just really, you know, getting everything prepped and the excitement. We just rolled out of Christmas. Now we're rolling into another holiday. Yeah, that's kind of how it is in the world of soaping. What does that do? Tina, good question. So this mica right here, I am going to use this to color my my soap. And this titanium dioxide right here, this is also going to be a color. That's going to be my white color, Tina. So I am using that to make all of my colors. So we're going to have green for our leaves and our vines. We're going to have white as an accent color in our soap. We're going to have our deep, beautiful red. We also are going to have pink in this soap, as well as an accent of purple. So the base of our soap, our main soap, is going to be pink, red, purple, and white. Our accent on the top, this color will not go on the inside, so I probably have some left over. It's going to be green. We're going to make some leaves with that. And here y'all can see in my bowl I have all of my oils. Now I won't tell y'all my recipe, but I will tell you all that in this soap that I'm making right now, I have some canola oil, olive oil, castor oil, rice bran oil, palm oil. Hold on a minute. I told y'all everything. Yeah. Coconut oil, palm oil, olive oil, canola oil, rice bran oil, and castor oil is what oils I am using in this soap. And for my lye solution here, I use aloe vera juice instead of using water to create my lye solution. Yes, I'm about to start my Valentine Day batch. Can't wait. Awesome. That's good, Tina. That's good. Because, you know, I mean, for some of us, this is a little late because right now we are really pushing productivity to let our soaps cure for the next 6 weeks for Valentine's Day. But absolutely, for those of you who sell your soaps, if you have not already started with your Valentine's Day, you definitely want to be getting started now because you have to give your soap time to cure, to get the best product out. Will you have a hard soap if you don't let it cure? Yes, but it's not going to last your customer for a long time. Then that doesn't make for good repeat business, so just so you know. The fragrance I'm going to be using for this soap is Black Raspberry Vanilla. Now, it usually doesn't act up on me, so let's just make sure, hope that it's behaving today the way that it's supposed to. And we'll be just fine, okay? So we're going to stir this all up. Get this together. Let me put some gloves on. Now, I'm just going to make this disclaimer for some of our new people. Y'all, guess what? As I make my disclaimer. So, this is my 9th year soaping, y'all. I was so excited. I was like, wait a minute, we're in a new year. And this is my 9-year soaping anniversary. So, woo-hoo, I'm so excited about that. Happy soaping birthday to me, or soap day, or whatever we're going to call it. Soaping anniversary. I'm excited about it because 9 years is a long time. that I have been making soap. And for those of you who are just tuning in and haven't been following me, I started making soap because I needed to do something for my son who had eczema. And that doing something for my son turned into other people asking me to make something from them for them, and from making up something for them, it turned in, could you make something for me? And from one person to another person, it evolved into a hobby and then into a business. And now with everything that's going on in the world, this has been my how I take care of my family for full time for the last 9 months. So I'm so super excited about that, because before it's just been a big business in addition to. But now it's one of those, wow, this is really making us some money. This year our goal is to hit six figures in making soap. So those of you who want to hit six figures with us, I will be opening the Emerge to Influence back again soon. So you all want to be on the lookout for that, because for those of you who want to come along with the ride and get some coaching and mentoring, know how to make some of these soaps and do all of this stuff behind the scenes as we do, I can do it. So yes, congratulations, Tina. It's been almost a year for you. And thank you, Pamela, so much. You're almost 3 months in and addicted. Yes, it only goes uphill from here, Pi. It only goes uphill from here. If you stick with it and stay with it, you're going to see you will make a lot of money in this business. Outside of soap, as I just mentioned, I also coach and I mentor. In addition to that, my soaping business, I don't know if y'all can see behind me. And for those of y'all who've been following me, I'm in a new studio, y'all. Hey! So, but, I have my soaps. I have my whipped butters. I have my lotions. So we also sell, like, a part of our product line is bath salts. So we have bath salts. We have sugar scrubs. What else we have? We have our lotions here that we make. We have our candles, of course. Y'all see my candles right here. We have our candle melts. We have, things in our product lines, our bath bombs, all those different kind of things that we have that are fillers in addition to our staple, which is our soaps. These are fillers. So we kind of have extra items that people can come on and then purchase on our website whenever they come, or people who know that, Curlinda makes it, so they'll go over there and patronize. So awesome. Well, Tasha, you're more than 2 weeks in, girl. Come on now. You are 2-3 months in, Tasha. But congratulations anyway, dear. I'm excited for you, Althelia. Yes, this has been a journey for you, Alethea, so I'm really excited about it. I always call you Althelia. It is Althelia. The other lady is Alethea. I be getting y'all names mixed up. Please forgive me, but I love you anyway, though. But I'm so super excited. Anyway, y'all, let's make some soap. So here's what we're going to do. As I just showed y'all, we have some roses up here that I piped earlier. They are sitting here on our tray. So for those of you who didn't see it, we have those. I also have some in the refrigerator as well, because I went and popped them in the refrigerator really quick so that they can set up some for me, because I do want them to pretty much set with the soap. Now, I'll just say this, because I know we always talk about make your embeds, make your embeds, make your embeds ahead of time. Make your embeds ahead of time. Well, for this particular soap, I didn't do that so much because I want to be able to cut my soap without it like giving or cracking. And what winds up happening is that sometimes when we make our embeds and make them too early, the embed is a lot harder than the soap. So then you kind of have that imbalance a little bit. So that's why you're going to see me do what I do here tonight with the roses. Congratulations again, Tasha. Courtney, you don't have to be lost. You're in the right group, dear. You're in the right group. So we will help you go through your journey. All right? So now, y'all, what I did with this soap here is I have this soap where I have a 35% lye concentration on here. And the reason why I did that is because I want medium water so that I can work with my swirls and everything with my soap. For those of you who are new to soaping, here's one thing you want to know. Whenever, the more water you have, potentially the more your soap is going to shrink in the end, the longer it's going to take for your soap to cure. The longer work time you have with your soap. The less water you have, the less work time you have with your soap. The less your soap potentially is going to shrink when it is going through the cure process for 6 weeks. Hi, Aletha. How are you? I was just saying I got Miss Athelia's name mixed up with yours again, but I love both of y'all anyway, so I know sometimes when I'm talking to you, I'm calling you Alethea. Sometimes I'm talking to her, I'm calling her Athelia. Athelia meet Alethea, Alethea meet Athelia. Now, y'all know that I'm not crazy because y'all see each other on this live at the same time. Okay? All right, so let's get soaping. Now, another thing that we're going to put on top of our soap, depending on how it turns out, is some pearls, okay? These are just some sugar pearls that you would put on top of a cupcake. So if you go and you want pearls on your soap, just go in the store, get you some sugar pearls. If you want to turn these from white to any other color, all you got to do is just take them and put them in a little baggie, shake them up with a little bit of mica, and you can turn these whatever color you want them. And then finally, in the vision that I have, is I'm going to sprinkle a little bit of glitter on the top. Hey, Dahlia from Egypt, welcome. Thank you so much for tuning in and watching. So, guys, I'm so super excited. Also, with my leaves, I just want to show y'all something because I have my thing in my bag. But for my leaf tip, I am going to use a Wilton 352 tip. Wilton 352, that's the tip that I'm going to use for my leaf. And you can also use a Wilton, what tip number is this? I don't see it. But it's the leaf tip that looks like this. If any of you have this leaf tip right here, you can still make a leaf as well, okay? I just wanted to show y'all so you all know whenever you're out and about looking for stuff. And then I'm also going to make my vines. Let me tell y'all about this cup. Goodwill, okay? Goodwill. This is a Sunday cup, right? We don't use this for Sundays, but guess what? It makes a great cup to be able to put your tips in when you're piping on your soap. This tip right here is not the tip that I'm looking for. Hold on, y'all. Wait a minute. I thought I had my whole life together, y'all. Now I'm finding out that I'm falling apart on the air. Who does that? Wait a minute. Here it is right here. My other tip that I'm going to be using is this is a Wilton number 3 tip. This is a Wilton number 3, and this is a small tip right here that you make like circle lines with, or pencil lines, or anything like that. And I'm going to use this tip. So for those of you who are following and you want to get you some tips, when you see what I do, this right here is a Wilton number 3, and this one right here that I'm going to be using is a Wilton number 352. But again, if you have this tip that looks like this tip will also make you a leaf. Sorry, I don't have the number on there, but I will find it for y'all and post it later if I can find that number. All right, so I'm just going to sit this back in here, and we're going to get the mixing, okay? All right. Y'all want to try to follow along with your comments as we go along with the So if you say something and I don't answer, it's not that I'm ignoring you. Sometimes I don't see it stroll up. That's all right, Aletha. You're making soap. You're not that advanced. That's okay. You will get there as long as you keep making soap. Trust me. All of us started out with our first, second, third batch of soap. I don't know if any of y'all follow my soap story, or for those of you who are new who haven't heard, I'll tell you. When I first started making soap, which is why I'm so passionate about this group, when I first started making soap, okay, while I'm talking, I'm going to pour this in here, okay? This is my last solution. I'm pouring in my oils. Hey, from South Africa. Hey, Cynthia. But when I first started making soap, y'all, I was messing up 5-pound batches at a time. Because when I first started soaping, the soap industry, as like with YouTube and all of that, was not popular like it is now. So therefore, I did not know that I could make a small batch of soap. I thought that I had to make 5 pounds or more, because guess what? That's what I saw. So that's what I did. Now, when I would make a batch and my batch would seize and my oils and stuff like that wouldn't come together, whatever, whatnot, like, I would throw it in the trash. Nobody told me that even though it's crazy, it's ugly, it looks funny. I forgot my rag. Even though it's crazy, it's ugly, it looks funny, and so on and so forth, that I could still use it. So in my not knowing that I could still use my soap, I would literally take my soap when it would get messed up and throw it in the trash. Thank God I had a husband who had good money, you know, because at the end of the day, if it had to be a do-over now, I don't think that would work out so good in today's economy. Hi from the UK. Do I make melt and pour? Not really. Now what I'm doing here, y'all, is I'm just going to post this to a light till it all emulsifies. I really don't even want it to come to trace so much. I just want to get it to emulsification so that I can separate it off. Yes, Jay Sulin, that's how it went down for me in the beginning when I first started soaping. So that's one reason why I'm so passionate about this group and being able to help people. And sometimes, guys, when it seems like I'm coming off strong, please know that I'm not being funny with you. But there are certain information sometimes y'all ask is here. And I want y'all to just be able to find some things for yourself. It's not that we're not wanting to help you or anything like that. It's just that sometimes some things, it's like, okay, I just really want you to think about that. Because if you think about it, you can talk yourself through it. That being said, don't be afraid to ask questions, though. Okay? Because that's what we're here for. We are all here to help you. We are all sister and brother soapers. Some of us been doing this for a long time. Some of us, you know, not so much. Some of us have been doing it for a short time. However, we're very knowledgeable. But with that being said, don't be afraid to feel like, oh, I'm not going to ask that question because somebody going to look at me funny or make fun of me. Because if they make fun of you in this group, I promise you I'll block them and kick them out. So don't worry about that part right there. But what I do want you all to do is understand that, especially when it comes to this being your craft, like we may not be there in a moment's notice to answer your question. So sometimes when you talk yourself through things or just think it through, you will come up with the answer because you've most likely seen it somewhere. Because realistically, when it comes down to it with soaping, a lot of this is truly repetition. Now, what y'all going to see me do here is I'm just going to stir this up. Y'all see how loose this is? I'm just stirring this with my spoon. And honestly, I think I just made too much of this green, but that's all right. We're going to rock with it. Is there a recipe for this example batch, Miss Curlinda? No, it's not. But there are several recipes in the files. So any of the slow moving recipes in the files will do the same thing that I'm doing right now. There are recipes in the files that are very similar to this one that I'm doing. So don't be afraid to try one. Like, and a lot of times, guys, when I put those recipes in the files, I put those recipes in the files with new people in mind. Understanding that some of you, you know, your level is different. So I put them in there for y'all to be able to try something new and not be scared. To understand your formulations. Y'all see how these colors are richly coming together? That's what we want. Okay? I'm talking and stirring and stirring and talking. And if you notice there again, remember for those of you who were on here in the beginning, remember I told you, that the oil that I took out was going to be going back in. No, I always experiment with new recipes. I always, Adeline, experiment with new recipes because that's just the way you grow in this business. But I will tell y'all this. Every soap does not mean that you have to make a new recipe. So for my new people, when you get a recipe that you come to grow and love, and you're like, I can stick with this, just know this. Your recipe is your base. Okay, your base to your recipe. Now, when you start adding other additives and stuff like that in, all you're doing is building out of your base. Okay, so just keep that in mind when you're thinking about your formulations. And it's like, well, I want to make an oatmeal soap. You can take these same oils and make an oatmeal soap. All you have to do is add oatmeal. Now you got oatmeal soap. If you want to make oatmeal milk and honey, you can add oatmeal. Substitute a little bit of your water or aloe vera juice or whatever liquid you're using. Substitute a little bit of that for your milk. Now you got oatmeal milk. Add you about a tablespoon or so of honey if you want that. Now you got oatmeal milk and honey. Or if you're not putting the real thing in there, you just use the fragrance oil. That's oatmeal milk and honey fragrance oil. Okay? And that's how you do that. Now, for those of you who wonder why you see people do this, that's because we're pumping the air. Because if you have air down there, it could potentially splat in your face. And y'all notice I don't have on no safety gear, okay? And all I'm going to do is just stir this up just a little bit, like so, just to get my titanium dioxide. And now y'all see it looks like I have milk. Right? All right, so now I'm going to go from there, and I'm going to go from light to dark. Let me do my green next, because my green is going to be lighter than this pink. There again, tap, tap, tap. Right, got that blended together, so those two are together. And now I'm going to come over here to my pink. And all I'm doing, y'all, is bringing them up to a light trace. What is my favorite base oil? Elaborate on that a little bit for me, Heather. Exactly what I do. Same recipe, different. Exactly, Pie. You don't have to change the recipe every time. You can change your additives, but you don't have to change your recipe every time. And that's where some people get stuck. They're like, oh my gosh, I saw this recipe, and now I got to get all of these different oils to make it. No, you don't. Put the additive in it. You just made it. People use different oil combinations because we want different functionalities in our soap. When you start learning your oils, you'll realize that different oils have different features to the skin. Like, for example, I use canola oil. Why do I use canola oil? Because canola oil is high in vitamin E. So, therefore, people who have, like, sun-damaged skin and people who go to tanning beds, and we live here in Florida, it's really good for us because of the vitamin E that's in the canola oil. So if you don't have like sunflower oil, which is also rich in vitamin E, those are different go-tos. And when you know things like that, you can switch them in and out. Now I put all of these in here. Got everything up to a light trace. If y'all notice one thing, I have not added my fragrance oil yet. Why? Because sometimes your fragrance oil acts funky. And if my fragrance oil start to act funky, everything is already been. So if you have to dump, I can dump. And I know that I won't have hot soap coming here later. Now y'all can see my colors are really rich. Curlinda, how much color did you put in that bowl? Glad you asked. I put a tablespoon to get this deep color because that's what I was looking for. If I want this more pastel, all I have to do is add some of my titanium dioxide color over here, and I will brighten it and make it more pastel if that's what I was going for. Right? So now what I'm going to do, first of all, I'm fixing to wipe this off my arm, because I just got a little bit of that batter on my arm, and that lie was like, I'm here. So, this is why you wear gloves. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I have not worked with peanut oil pie. I have not, so I don't know. But peanut oil is pretty good. But you got to think, some people have peanut allergies. All of this, Rose, I am soaping at room temperature. I am soaping this at room temperature. Why am I soaping at room temperature? Because, great question, Rose. The cooler you soap, the longer it takes for your batter to set up. More heat, the faster you reach acceleration and trace and all of that stuff. Less heat, not so much. Is it going to heat back up? Absolutely it is. But you're starting out at 60, 70 degrees, whatever the temperature is in your house, versus starting out at 120, 130 degrees. Got it? So now I'm going to do is just take these and stir these in really good by hand once again, just to make sure that my fragrance is behaving. Now I can tell that this fragrance right here that I'm using is somewhat of a decelerator because I had a light trace, but now it's loosened everything up, looser than it was at the light trace. So I'm almost back to almost a state just above emulsification. See how loose and runny that is? This is a good behaving fragrance. This is Black Raspberry Vanilla, y'all, and I got this from StudioFragrance.com. StudioFragrance.com is where I got this. They are a Florida-based fragrance company. The guy's name is Mr. Curtis. Tell him Curlinda sent you. And the good thing about them is they have a, on their website, when you shop with them, if you spend $25, you get free shipping on your order. So just go there with the mindset of, I'm about to spend $25, because you're going to spend it in shipping or in product. And one of the great things about them is their fragrance oil are usually always in stock year-round. So even if you have a fragrance oil that you like and it might be a said holiday fragrance oil, it's usually there throughout the year. So if you have a fragrance that you like and you want to dress it up for the holidays and change it up for the summer, you can do that because you have access to it. Unlike some of the other vendors where they have the products and then next thing you know it's no longer available because that holiday is gone. Do I measure out my fragrance then and then equal part? I measure my fragrance based on, so I usually use like a ½ ounce to a ¼ ounce depending on how light the fragrance is. I usually use about a ½ ounce to a ¼ ounce of fragrance oil per pound of oils that I'm making in my batch. Should you soap at room temperature if you are adding shea butter? I soap at room temperature when I add shea butter. The name of the company is Studio Fragrance. I soap at room temperature with my shea butter. Here's the thing that a lot of people think. They think that, oh, because you're using shea butter, it's going to solidify again. Not so. Simply because you have enough liquid oils in there that you're not going to, that's thick enough, that you're not going to go back to a solid state because you have enough liquid oils playing in there with that solid oil. Now this green right here, y'all going to see me mixing this a lot. A part of that is I want this green to set up thick because I have to pipe it. So with me mixing it, y'all, anybody ever mix past the emulsification, that past the point of no return, know what I'm talking about. Once you get it too thick, it's like there's no coming back from that. But this, I want it thick because I have to pipe out of it. So I want it to do what we normally don't want it to do. Right? So that's doing this thing over here. Let's see what this is doing. Everything else is behaving pretty good. So we're going to go ahead and start pouring our soap. If y'all can see, this is the consistency that I'm pouring it. So you all can see that I have like pancake batter. Here is my mold that I'm going to be using. And I'm going to start with my red on the bottom. Okay, yeah, y'all can see in my mold. Cool. So I'm going to start with my red on the bottom. Then I'm going to come in. And I'm pouring up high. I'm dropping down some white. I'm going to come back again. And I'm going to drop in some pink. And with my white, I'm making thin lines with the white because all I'm wanting the white to do is really just break up the other colors. So I'm not wanting like super duper enormous amount of white in this soap. Just enough to give me a contrast. And then I'm going in with my purple. Like so. Come back in again with some more red. Y'all, this red is so pretty. This is a ruby red, and I got my colors from micasandmore.com. Micas and More. What temp should the lye be? Tina, if you're soaping, you want to soap like anywhere between 85 and 95. But like you just heard me say, I'm soaping at room temperature. So with me soaping at room temperature, mine is like 74 degrees. And y'all, when I'm pouring, and I'm pouring from up high, the higher I pour in, the more my color falls down in there. So if you want your color more to the top, then you pour low, like this. Like you just saw me do. And I'm literally just kind of going back and forth with it. Y'all know what? I was not going to add any green in here, but I just thought about it. I have to. Because if I don't, I'm not going to have enough batter. So, we're going to add just a little bit of green. And I can pipe with the rest of that. I'm going to tap it down to make sure I have no air. Now that green is all the green we going to have. Can I get those molds? I do prepare my, yes, Tina. So, guys, I'm strolling back to see your questions. Tina, yes, I do prepare my lye before. I usually prepare my lye first, about an hour before I'm going to soap, if I'm not going to let it, like, set down to get to room temperature. What y'all see me doing is taking my spatula now and stirring into my color because it's getting thick in here. And once you stir into it, you just loosen it up a little bit. But, yes, Tina, I usually make my lye solution first. Even if I'm going to soap and I know I'm going to soap, I try to make my lye solution like an hour before, unless I'm doing like the heat transfer method. Now, when I don't make it ahead of time and I do the heat transfer method, for those of you who've seen me do that, I just use that method right there to go in and I just use that method to go in and allow the hot lye solution to melt my hard oils. Now y'all can see this is starting to thicken up beautifully, which is a great thing, because we won't have to worry about all of our colors modeling together, because I am going to do a hanger swirl on this. And with me doing the hanger swirl, with the consistency that it is, we won't have to worry about our swirls like all blending and all of our colors turning like a funky gray or something like that. So I'm literally just going back and forth in here, and I'm just cleaning out my bowls now, y'all. Just clean out my bowls, clean out my bowls. Hold on, y'all. I see somebody asked me a question. Give me a second. Where can I get these molds? Amazon. You can get these molds on Amazon. You want to search soap molds. Search like rectangular soap molds or something like that. Y'all see it's all coming together, coming together. Now y'all ready for the cut, right? Y'all ready for me to cut it already, right? No, I'm not going to C-pop this one, I don't think. I'm actually sitting here playing around in my head now trying to decide what I'm doing. I don't think I'm going to C-pop it. I don't think. If I change my mind and decide to, I will let y'all know. And so what y'all seeing me doing now is I'm literally trying to scrape every drip drop out. Everything. I want all of my good soap out of my bowl. Because I know the time that I didn't know that my good soap in my bowl, even if it was not the way that I wanted, was still good soap. It's still soap. So just FYI, y'all, if it come out jacked up, looking all crazy, it's okay. It's still soap at the end of the day. Nobody told me that. So that's a freebie for you. All right? So now I'm going to move all of this stuff out of my way. And this right here is getting pretty thick. Y'all see that? That's getting pretty thick. And that's what we want. Something that's a pipeable consistency. So now I have all of my soap dishes over here. I have actually a little thing under here in front of me, under my table, that I call a dish rack. I really don't know what kind of rack it is. It's a rack. So I'm going to tap everything down really, really good. And then I have my little thingy here. And I'm just going to rock back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Come across like this. And that's just that. That's the ball game, folks. And if you can see this up closely, you can see how my colors are still separated colors. Where can I get those molds? You can get these molds on Amazon. I used olive oil, canola oil, palm oil, olive oil, canola oil, palm oil, rice bran oil, castor oil. That's what I used in this. So now, y'all, let me get my roses out of the refrigerator. Ta-da! I told y'all I had more, right? So, I piped these roses earlier this afternoon, and I put them in the refrigerator. I'm not worried about them being 100% set because, again, I want them to pretty much set with this soap. And I'm not worried about if I lose little pieces or anything because, remember, I'm piping the leaves on here. So with me piping the leaves on here, it's okay. Now, all I'm doing is taking my little rose scissors, pulling this off the paper, and I'm going to set that, boom, right on the top of my soap. Y'all see that? Just like that. We got a rose, right? So, I'm going to keep going, alternating pretty much where the roses are sitting. So all I'm doing is just peeling that off. And sitting it right on the top. And basically what I want is so that whenever I cut this soap, every piece of soap at least has a piece of rose in the design. And I'm not so much worried about big rose, small rose, this and that. Because remember I told y'all I'm putting leaves on here. And I'm also putting those pearls on here as well. So that's going to take care of some of the other stuff. I think I want to do a light purple one back here. Since I got this one. I have some smaller ones, so let me see how I can fit this smaller one in. I don't know why I didn't think to make a bud. But I didn't. I didn't make a bud. But these gonna have to work. Now this is where your creative juices come in. So, what I'm going to do is get my knife where I put it. I usually have one sitting here right in front of me. I need a piece to go right here. So what I'm going to do is get my knife and take one of my smaller ones right here. And I'm going to cut it in half. Ha! It sits perfectly right there, guys. I'm going to get this one and do this one the opposite way. Genius. Wow, I wouldn't have occurred to me. Thanks so much. You can make more. How do you force gel C-pop it? That's where I get mine. Haven't made soap yet, though. C-pop does make the colors pop. Thank you, still learning. Oh, that's right, beautiful. Can't wait to see it cut. Yes, it is, Jocelyn. It's good for eczema. Please show. I will show you all the cut. Where did I get that thing that rock back and forth? This thing right here, this is a wire. So that's a soap, that's a swirl wire. A soap swirl wire is what it is. Yes, I do make cakes. It's a hanger swirl tool. Thank you, somebody who, Heather. Thank you. Thank you, guys. Yes, see, that's my, and that's Valentine's Day. How Valentine's Day is looking over here. So I see another spot, y'all, that I'm going to cut. And this is another reason why I don't make these so hard. Because you see how, like, now I'm having to improvise at last minute. If this was really hard, I really couldn't get this effect because my roses could potentially crack. So I'm sticking that in right there. These are very firm because they've been in the refrigerator, but not too firm for me to be able to work with them. And y'all can see I'm literally just like sticking them in the side, cutting them, sticking them in the side. And it looks like they were made to go right there. But really, it's the rose cut in half. Thank you. Now what I'm about to do, y'all. I'm going to put my rest of my roses back in the refrigerator. And basically, I told these roses by setting them in the refrigerator not to gel, okay? Because I wanted them to keep this color. And y'all see now how thick this is? This is pipeable. Now, I know that I'm going to have too much green, but what I will do is pipe some leaves for another soap. So this won't go to waste. It'll just be leaves on another soap that are already made. And all I did was just, let me show y'all what I did. I took this, I twisted it, and I just squirt out some like that, just so that I can get the air pocket out. I'm sure y'all probably done seen this technique before. Now all I'm doing is just drawing lines, really, just squiggly lines, just any kind of way. So when I come back in and I put my leaves, it'll look like it's vines coming from under the roses. Right? Now that I'm done with that, told y'all I made too much, didn't I? Now that I'm done with that, I am going to put my leaf tip on here. Once again, I'm going to push down. I'm going to squeeze into here. Now, let me show y'all how to hold this to make a leaf. So you see this tip. You see your V here? The V this way. So when you put the V this way and squeeze and pull up, you get a leaf. If you do it this way, where it looks like this is what you get. You don't want that. So you want to turn your V where your points are pointing to the top and to the bottom, and you get leaves like that. Got it? So now I'm just going to go back in And I'm just going to pipe up a few leaves. And I'm just putting them in random spots, guys. The more you squeeze, the more leaf you get. Now, because I don't want to overdo it, I was going to put the pearls on here, but now I'm not. But I am still going to put my glitter on here. Okay? I think that's pretty good, right? I got this piping bag off of Amazon. These are reusable piping bags. So this piping bag came from Amazon. I'm missing a leaf right here, y'all. I can see it. All right, that's enough. I got the piping bags off of Amazon. It was a set of 3 reusable piping bags. I got them off of Amazon. The scent of the soap is black raspberry vanilla. Now, here's what I'm going to do. I am going to just take my knife here. And sprinkle some glitter. Now, I know some of you might have that little glitter thingy thing. That was too much. Darn it. That's fine. If you got the little foof, I don't have that. And I never invested in it. Probably won't anytime soon. Maybe later. But right about now, my little steak knife works real good. So that's what I use. And that's it, y'all. There we go. And this soap is called Kissed by a Rose. But the scent is black raspberry vanilla. And for those of you who get stuck, like, I gotta name my soap after the scent. No, you don't. It's your soap. You do what you want. You name it what you want. And I can make this soap in the summer and call it black raspberry vanilla. But because this is a different design to this soap is Kissed by a Rose. Kissed by a Rose. What y'all think? Leave your comments below. Let me know what y'all think of this soap, guys. Ooh, woo, woo. Y'all see the ones that I cut in half? See how they look just like they fit right in here? And that's it. That is the soap making process. I will show y'all also one day how to pipe these roses. They're not hard to pipe them at all. They're not at all. Really not. Thank you. Thank you, thank you. Anybody got any questions before I go? It's okay. It's recorded this time. It's recorded this time, Mary. You can go back and watch the replay. Hey, Angela. All right. What we got? You're so welcome. Guys, we're going to start back doing our classes this month as well. So be on the lookout. Remember, some of your classes, when I teach you all like more in-depth one-on-one, those classes are paid classes. But as you can see from this, those classes are worth it. We do get more intimate with you. And we, you know, just share, and I'm able to answer your questions and everything with you and for you so that you have a better understanding of your craft, and we go over specific skill. Like with the holidays coming up, one of the classes that we're going to have is how to pipe your flowers so that you'll be able to know and understand how we do this. That way, whether it's Valentine's Day or Mother's Day or whatever day, you know, you may want to make soap and cater to people who are getting married. To know how to do this and to know how to pipe different kind of classes or different kind of flowers is worth it. And your leaves. How do you sign up for the classes, Heather? I put them in the group. I'm going to be putting up the calendar. If y'all can give me like to the end of next week, I'm going to put up to the calendar. I'm going to put up the calendar on when the next class is for the month of January. I'm trying to do at least one class a month to teach you a different skill. But these are things that are good for y'all to know. I'm not going to put that pearl on there. I was going to put a pearl like it. I'm not going to put those pearls on there, okay? I'm not. I promise I'm not. I'm going to leave it just like this. So y'all see this? This is what we got. This is our soap. All right, guys. I love you all. Thank you all so much for watching. I really appreciate your time. I am going to take this down and upload the replay onto my YouTube channel. So for those of you who want to watch it and you think, oh, wow, it disappeared out of the group, you can go over to my YouTube channel, youtube.com/YorelNaturals. This will be there, this whole making video. All of your questions, everything raw and uncut will be right there. I will post the link for you to maybe find in the group, but as you all know, as we keep talking, it'll filter down, but you can always find it on my YouTube channel. Again, that's youtube.com/YorelNaturals. That's where you can find us at over there. If you have not already subscribed, go ahead and to my channel and subscribe, because there are things that I put on the channel that I don't necessarily put in the group, and I want you guys to stay in the know. Again, much love. Happy New Year. Thank you so much for watching. I love you and your families and every one of you who make all of this possible for me. Even when I have a down day, I'm like, I can't let them down, so I got to get up and go. All right, and make some soap. But love you guys. Love you. Bye.